Marara, Canal Number 1 and Bagotsville from 8 hours to 11 hours. Reason for outage, create section pole. Install two cross arms and rural cutout switches for auto recloser. And also on the West Bank, Canal Number 2 and Bell West from 12 hours to 15 hours. Reason for this outage, create section pole and install two cross and armed rural cutout switches for auto closure. And in Berbice, Canefield to Albion from 9 hours to 13 hours. Reason for outage, connect high voltage cables for Caterpillar sets. And also on the east coast of the Marara, Success Housing Scheme from 9 hours to 11 hours. Reasons for this outage, replace one 50 kVA transformer with a 75 kVA transformer. This is a capital job. Did you know? Weekly plant maintenance allows for routine inspection and maintenance of the network to provide customers with a reliable supply of electricity. GPL, empowering you.
CARICOM General Insurance, a better value for better protection. Get your ship and cargo covered with us today. To better serve you, you can now purchase your insurance online from the comfort of your home. CARICOM General Insurance Company, Inc., located at 121 Regent and Ornock Streets. You can contact us on telephone numbers 225-1787 or you can try 269-0020.
A pleasant good afternoon to you. Thank you for joining us on the Wake Up Guyana show. This is your host, Tony from Machinoy. Today is the 17th March 2021, and you're listening to the Wake Up Guyana show, which comes to you Monday through Friday at 1400 hours. And we thank you so much for all those who are listening across the length and breadth of this great and blessed nation. Those in the riverine and the hinterlands community, thank you for spending this time with us. Not to forget those Guyanese who are in the diaspora, the A, B, C, C, E, America, Britain, Canada, the Caribbean, and Europe. Thank you for spending this time with us. We have a very good show for you today. You know, the last 2 days, our show was very intense, and I'm hoping today to be on a more lighter note. We had two intense shows the last 2 days over the brutal death of the 10-year-old Anthony, who was murdered in his home. We had a lady who was called yesterday. She was very emotional. She was very upset. She was very angry. And she was literally crying tears on the air because she lives next door to the 10-year-old and she knew him all of his life. And she's very sad and heartbroken that he had to die such an unspeakable death. But today we want to keep it a little more light, so we want to talk about a couple of subjects on a lighter note. So the number to reach us, as you know, this show is your show. So we want to talk about whatever is on your mind. If you still want to talk about Anthony and that unspeakable tragedy that happened to take his young life, you're welcome to do so. This show is for you. Whatever you want to discuss, you are welcome to discuss. So the number to reach us is 226-7453, 226-7453. And WhatsApp 622-2222, 622-2222. Miss King is here. Yesterday she abandoned me, and then she came with some lame apology, which I totally rejected it, but she said she will make up for it today. And I must warn you, she's going to come and give you some lame apology as well, and just do likewise. Apology is rejected, but she will be here to take your Facebook and WhatsApp messages and to read it on the air. Miss King, thank you for joining us, and please Don't do what you did to us yesterday.
Let me just interject here, Mr. Tony. I am very sorry. I'll apologize to you again. I'm very sorry. And to the audience as well, because it was brought to my attention that he had been advertising that Miss King is going to be joining us, and I never showed up. However, I was a bit busy, as well as the fact that I forgot, and I genuinely apologize for that. And I think I deserve an apology. Don't you guys think so too?
And I would ask Mr. Lal to see if he will forget to cut that paycheck, and so you can feel how I felt when you forget, okay? But anyway, so just remind you to listen to the Glenn Lal Show tonight at 7:20 p.m. If you want to hear the truth about what the oil companies and the leaders of this nation is doing to you, you need to tune in tonight and listen to Mr. Glenn Lal so he can tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So please tune in tonight, and you can listen to the Glenn Lal Show every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 7:20 p.m. And for a rebroadcast of that show, you can listen to it on a daily basis at 1100 hours. Mr. Lal last show on Monday night, he talked about Guyana versus Suriname. Who is managing their oil better? That was his last show on Monday night, so please listen tonight. Other ways you can listen to this program is on my Tuna app, Radio Garden app. You can also listen to us on Kaieteur News Online and also on Facebook, YouTube, and WhatsApp. So again, thank you for joining us. And that number again to reach us is 226-7453, 226-7453. Please do remember when you call, please be brief with your comment or your questions, because we have countless people who calls this show, and we want to give everyone an opportunity to be on the air. So please be brief. Also, when you call, you may be angry and you may express your anger on this show. You are welcome to do that, but I just ask that you be angry but not abusive. Be angry but respectful. Be angry but do not sin. So thank you again. And today I want to share with you something I shared with you a few months ago. I want to remind you how important it is. If you live in Guyana, there's some very strange laws here, so you must know it, okay? So I want to remind you that you must get a will if you live in Guyana, because if you die, God forbid, your family will have a lot of problems trying to get your assets, okay? And I will share with you a personal example that happened to my family. My mother-in-law is 95 years old, and her husband died and left less than $1 million in one of the bank, and for the last 4 or 5 years, she's been fighting with the bank to get the money that rightfully belongs to hers. But as you know, when the person dies and doesn't leave a will, you have to go to hurdles after hurdles and obstacles after obstacles and run around after run around until you get to a point where you just get tired of the runaround and you just give up and you just said to the bank, you keep the money because it doesn't look like you want to give it to me. So learn from my mother-in-law and father-in-law mistakes. Get you a will today. Now, so I went to get myself a will and I learned that a will is not enough. So I got this will, which bequeaths all my assets to my love of my life, my wife. And the person that did the will for me said that I need to do a separate will for my vehicle. So don't ask me why, but this is why I'm saying the laws in Guyana is very strange. So I did one will for my property and then a separate will for my vehicle. So the good thing about it, it's not very expensive and it's not very time consuming to get this done. This is one of the few things I can tell you that it was not time consuming. It was not a burden to get a will, your last will and testament done. You do it now and you save your family lots and lots of problems. I can tell you, my mother-in-law is still grieving, knowing that she has her last gift from her husband sitting in the bank and she cannot touch it. So please, people, get you a will done today. Do not put it off to tomorrow. And you may say, well, I don't have a lot of asset, so why do I need a will? Well, if you have something simple as a vehicle, if you have a vehicle and you die and you don't have a will, you may have trouble selling that vehicle back. You may have so many problems with that vehicle. But if you have a will, it's so much easier. The number to reach us is 226-7453, 226-7453. WhatsApp 622-2222. Also, I want to talk to you about another subject that a person wanted help with. Caller, go right ahead with your call. Welcome to the Wake Up Guyana show.
Hi, Tony. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
And thank you. Quickly, I would like to know what is the cost for a will. And I want to let you know, I have a friend, and they're supposed to go and change the will, and they are saying it's about 400,000 to change that will, but I got to confirm it back from them. I would want to know, I never questioned them why it's so expensive to change back the will. But I would like to know what the cost for a will, even if it's a simple, you don't have a lot of assets.
Okay, are you still there, caller?
Yes.
Okay, so mine only cost, you wouldn't believe this, $10,000. That was it.
That's the lawyer fee.
And that's the other thing. I did not go to a lawyer. I went to, it's a strange word. I'm not familiar with it, but it's somebody similar to a lawyer, but they're not a lawyer. I don't know what you call that person. But
not a JP.
Similar to a JP, but it's not a JP, but very similar. Anyway, but I can get you more information on that. But so it only cost me $10,000. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
And it saved so much headache if I die with my asset. Okay, so $10,000 is what it cost me, and what you could do is call this number, and I can see if I get the full title of the person that provided it. Let me see if it's on this. If its title is on here. Let's see. Hold on 1 second. So is a title on here? Just give me a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, it's public notary. It's a notary publics. I don't know if that's its title.
Oh, a notary.
Notary
not
public.
A notary.
No, it says something notary public. Miss King?
Oh, there's someone in the comment that's trying to tell you that the name you're looking for is
Thank you.
paralegal. Paralegal.
A paralegal, that's what the
Yeah.
person is called, a paralegal.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh,
And I found that he could do just everything as a lawyer can do, but it cost far less, and it was far less time
but
consuming.
this, what I'm saying, this friend, they
Yes.
did a will about 15 years ago, but they
Yes.
had wanted to change it.
Yes.
But they are saying that it's about 400,000 to change back the will.
Yes, I'm sorry, but I can't tell you. I can
But
just
what I tell you,
Yes.
I just referring this to you, but
Yes.
I got to get more confirmation from them about it.
correct.
I never go down into details
Yes.
with the discussion with them.
And
Okay,
and
thank
chaperone. Thank you, sir, for calling. Thank
Yeah.
you. And we're going to try to help everybody so they can save money and they won't run into the headache like my mother-in-law is going through. Have a good day, sir. All right. The next topic and I thank that person who, and Miss King, just interject anytime you have such pertinent information so I can help my listeners. Thank you, Miss King.
Okay, no problem. Got it.
Any read anything to read yet? Comments, question?
No, but someone here is saying that they're saying 400,000. That's the total on the will.
400,000 is what the caller was saying that it will cost him to change the will. Attorney fees.
I see.
Yes, that's what it was saying. Anyway, so the other topic for discussion, someone wanted some advice about living abroad or living abroad. In other words, someone who's moving back home to Guyana after living abroad for a significant number of years. They want advice. They're moving back home. They're comebacky. That's what they call them, a comebacky. If you live overseas for a long time and then you re-migrate to Guyana, you're a comebacky. And they want advice. And then the second part is someone who's leaving Guyana, going to live overseas for a significant amount of time. They want some suggestions from you. I know we have many people in the diaspora. Some of them, I'm sure, have moved back home to Guyana. Some of them are comebackies, and they can help us give these people advice. And those who are currently living in the diaspora, they can give the locals here some advice about moving to live overseas. I do have a few suggestions for the person that needs help going to live overseas or returning to live back in Guyana. So here are one suggestion. Curb your expectations. Do not come here with high expectations because you will be disappointed. Okay? So that's very important. Don't come with your expectation being too high if you do not want to be disappointed. Secondly, try to live in a new neighborhood when you come back to live in Guyana. Try not to live in your old neighborhood with your old friends. Trust me, it will work out much better for you. Now, you may say, well, I have a house or I have property in my old neighborhood. What should I do? Sell it and go to a new neighborhood? I will tell you that's what I would do if I were you. Third, make new friends. Yes, you have many old friends that you had when you left this country. You return, continue being friends with them, but extend your friendship to new people as well. And here's my favorite. And if you forget anything that I said today, do not forget this. Prepare for a culture shock. Prepare for a culture shock. You know, many of you come and visit from time to time from overseas, but you don't feel that culture shock until you come back to live permanently. So prepare for a culture shock. For the person who is leaving Guyana to go live overseas, and listen to this, even if you're going to live in a first world country, even if you're going to live in one of the top countries in the world, you still will face a culture shock. So brace yourself for that. And caller, go right ahead with your question or comment. Welcome to the Guyana Wake Up Guyana show.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You know what time I call and you at that time about going and coming and going to America. If people want to go America, they go America. If people want to come again, they come again.
Okay, caller, you still there?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not really following
I said you're taking up a lot of time if you talking about people to go and live America and come back.
Yes.
And whatever they want, the people choice. That
Yes.
is not your choice. You are there on the radio station.
Yes.
Is to listen people complain. But I talk about my time me call and you still have anything. What I want to make is a point like this. If a JP make a will,
Yes.
it's valid.
Okay.
If,
So
if a JP,
yes.
that the government put that portion there.
Well, thank you for that information, sir. So you're saying, in addition to a lawyer and a paralegal, a JP can also do a will? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because I have one and it's working.
And is your will pretty simple, or is it complicated with many different assets?
No, it's very simple.
Okay, so then
And then the next thing,
yes.
my money, then my wife's name and my name jointly. So she doesn't have any problem if I die to go to the bank and get the money.
And that's very good to do that. And mine is exactly the same. But let me ask you this: do you know about how much it costs with the JP to do the will?
The guy takes $2,000. He's a black fella. He lives not too far from me. He's a JP.
You said
He's a counselor in every area.
only 2,000?
Yeah, he doesn't put.
Wow.
Here, a JP really supposed to do the government put me, recommend me, give me license and everything.
Yes.
As a JP. Supposed to work free for the people.
Okay.
But remember, the people take them time. They got to type out it and they got to do this.
Okay,
So-
Carlo, let me make sure I'm hearing you clearly. You're saying by law the JP is supposed to provide free services for a will? Is that what you're saying?
Any services supposed to provide, but because
Yes.
the time that they have to do things to people,
Yes.
they charge a fee.
Okay. But
Some of them are overcharged.
okay, but what you're saying, according to the law, they're supposed to provide a free service?
Exactly, I'm telling you.
Okay, I
Why
just
the
want
government
to.
make me a JP? The government make a JP to look after the committee.
Okay, okay. I see.
You understand?
That's good information for me. So this is why I like to listen to my callers, because every day I learn something, and I'm hope the
and,
other.
You know, when you're on the radio
Yes.
and you make certain questions and you hear the phone ring, take it up because a lot of people want to call in.
Yes.
And they're not getting through.
And I want
You know,
them to
you
call.
Make it in an out chat. But that is the way. I put my money
Yes.
jointly. She can carry a bank.
Yes.
She can draw.
That's wonderful.
So, Shana, that is my way of life.
And you see, unfortunately, my father-in-law, he
understand what
did
you
not
said.
do that, which is
Yeah.
what you did the right thing.
And our
Make
next
it-
thing again,
Yes.
the people who they are on the NIS payroll,
Yes.
none of them are the wife legal. Because when I come out 2014, the girl explained certain things. I didn't marry my wife legal, you know.
Okay.
Why your wife going to get probably in the show, you send out your money. Go home and go to Pandit and let the Pandit marry illegal, carry it to their home, get your photocopy what you want, and bring it and I carry it in. Because let me explain. If I die, she will get half of my NIS money.
Okay, good. Thank you,
And
caller. Thank you
then
for.
just for, and the amount of people gave voice to show me that when them dead, the man dead, the wife cannot get a cent.
Yes. And you know what? You and I are doing the right thing, but there's so many people afraid to put all their eggs in one basket, so to
No, I
speak.
didn't
In
get
other
that.
words, they're afraid to make a joint will like you did and like I did,
Yeah, and
because
we had a child who have been a really look after like our own child.
yes,
She's in America.
yes,
She named her Johnny Will.
that's good.
If how long we live,
Yes.
both of us. When we die, then is she one.
And that's exactly what I did. I added my daughter just in case something happens to my wife and I at the same time. You have to have a third party just in case. Because you don't want the bank to get the money. And the
No,
bank,
I know a lot of people who get problem with the same bank. Sorry.
yes, the bank will do everything to not give you their money. They'll
Yeah,
do
because
everything to keep that money.
yeah, that is bullyism them do.
Oh yes, and if sad thing it is that it's legal and they get away with it. Thank you.
Well, the government.
Okay, we are going to take a break right now, and I thank the caller. And we are now at 14:31, and we'll be right back.
Public advisory. Major planned maintenance of Friday, March 19, 2021 on the east bank of Demerara from Garden of Eden to New Hope from 9:30 to 15 hours 30. And the reason for the outage is to connect high voltage mains and jumpers for rerouting circuit, transfer high voltage mains and lines to hardware, and replace defective cross arms insulators and poles to pin, and plumb poles and remove old poles. Did you know that weekly planned maintenance allows for routine inspection and maintenance of the network to provide customers with a reliable supply of electricity? GPL, empowering you.
GPL Public Advisory, major plant maintenance for Wednesday, March 17, 2021, on the west bank of Demerara, Canal Number 1 in Baggettsville, from 8 hours to 11 hours. Reason for outage, create section pole. Install 2 cross arms and rural cutout switches for auto recloser. And also on the west bank, Canal Number 2 in Bell West, from 12 hours to 15 hours. Reason for this outage, create section pole and install 2 cross and arm rural cutout switches for auto closure. And in Berbice, Canefield to Albion, from 9 hours to 13 hours. Reason for outage, connect high voltage cables for Caterpillar sets. And also on the east coast of Demerara, Success Housing Scheme, from 9 hours to 11 hours. Reasons for this outage, replace one 50 kVA transformer with a 75 kVA transformer. This is a capital job. Did you know? Weekly plant maintenance allows for routine inspection and maintenance of the network to provide customers with a reliable supply of electricity. GPL, empowering you.
CARICOM General Insurance, a better value for better protection. Get your ship and cargo covered with us today. To better serve you, you can now purchase your insurance online from the comfort of your home. CARICOM General Insurance Company, Inc., located at 121 Regent and Ornock Streets. You can contact us on telephone numbers 225-1787 or you can try 269-0020.
Welcome back to the Wake Up Guyana show on Kaieteur Radio, FM 99.1 in Demerara and Essequibo and 99.5 in Berbice, the radio with a difference. Again, you can listen to this show on MyTuner app, Radio Garden app, Kaieteur News Online, WhatsApp, Facebook, and YouTube. And one of our Facebook comments says that in Barbados, a JP, a Justice of Peace, is absolutely free. And the previous caller told us that in Guyana, it is supposed to be free, but as you know, nothing is free in Guyana. Speaking about nothing being free, I go to the hardware store to buy some stuff, some materials, and the porters and everybody wants a little something. So as you can see, they're getting paid by the company, but they still want you to give them something even though they did nothing. So the justice of peace, they're probably saying the same thing. Yes, it's a free service, but you have to leave a little something, okay? Miss King, over to you, please.
So we have 3 different comments to read here. The first one says, Tony, I want to know why Monterey Post NDC not coming to empty the garbage. It's over a month now, especially Block 8 Monterey Post. And number 2 says, Tony, for those who plan to reside permanently in the ABCE countries, if you are a tradesman, teacher, or in the medical field, you would not have no problem finding work. Be prepared, your first year will be tough if you do not have family support in place. But if you are strong mentally, you will succeed. But please remember where you came from. Tony, just remember, if it was not for immigrant remittance, Guyana would have been a failed state. The only sure income in Guyana is a Western Union cash transfer. It's estimated that billions flow through Western Union to Guyana. For younger Guyanese, go abroad, get qualified, and return to build Guyana's infrastructure.
Thank you. Before you go to the last one, I thank you for that for that text message, and I would add to that what the person said, that if you go abroad, different skill set and qualification that will help you to get a job. I would add to that you have to take a strong work ethic overseas. The work ethic have to be very strong, meaning that whether rain or shine, snow or sleet, you're willing to get up, get out to the bed, and get to work. Just last week, Monday, it was raining on the West Coast, where all of my workers who build in my house lives. I live on the East Bank. So there were rain nonstop on the West Coast, but on the East Bank there was zero rain. It was sunshine. My workers them called to tell me that they can't come to work today because it is raining on the West Coast. I said to them, it's not raining on the East Bank, and where you're working is on the East Bank. So get out of your bed, get through the rain, and get to work. In other words, I never heard somebody dying from getting wet in the rain. So if you plan to go overseas and you plan to be successful, you have to be willing to go to work through the rain. Go ahead, Ms. King.
This one is more directed towards you, Mr. Tony. It says, if you're 100% sure with that transaction with the para person is legitimate according to the governing laws, and finally, how authentic or recognized his business is.
Okay. Michaela, can you explain that to me? Because I don't think I followed it better.
So they're wondering if the transaction you had with the paralegal,
yes,
if you're certain
okay.
that it's
Thank you.
legitimate
I got
according to the laws. Yeah.
Well, thank you. That's a very good question. So I had to take this will that he did for me, and I had to take it to the court, and they did something in there. I don't know what they call it, but they did something at the court. They kept a copy for their records, and I have a copy for myself. So if it was not legitimate, I'm sure the court would have brought that to my attention, but it's a very valid question. Okay, thank you so much for that. Again, the number to reach us is 226. Caller, go right ahead. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Wake Up Guyana show.
Yes, Coney, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
How you do?
I am too blessed to be depressed and too anointed to be disappointed. Thank you.
All right. Sorry to hear about the bank. They own your money, but they get your money and they may want to give them. That is real, but.
Yes.
And you have, I want to talk to Uncle Lal, and I call him for the president. I hope they're listening. So drop the money that they dramatize to Mr. Because I want to know if
Caller, your phone is fading in and out. Are you still there? You okay? We lost you. I am so sorry. Just want you to know that we did not hang up on you. Your phone was fading in and out until it completely faded away. Okay, so the number again to reach us is 226-7453. Miss King, go right ahead. First, Raj. Caller, go right ahead with your question or comment. Good afternoon.
Yes.
Good afternoon.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes, I calling about the suing that they suing Mr. Lal.
Yes. So you got back on right away like that? That's great, buddy.
And that's real bad because
Yes.
if Mr. Lal, the knew would have run this country now, God knows. And thanks for the ABC country too. And I call him for the president. He's a poor man and I want them cut that sue they sue Mr. Lal. Because that man ain't getting harsh in the race. That man doing no harsh race with politics. That man representing the poor and ordinary people in this country. And the day will come when I sit down 24 hours on the street in front of Exxon Mobile and concerning my own grandparents. They can't rob we. This is not Nigeria. This is Guyana. I will go in front of them for our campaigning so let we get we rights and we right deal. So I call Mr. Ali, Mr. President, do with me on the Lale. That is nonsense that is going on. That man is the poor and ordinary people in this country.
So caller,
Please.
what you're saying
Please,
that what you're saying you asking the president to ask the former president Ramatar
Yes.
to drop the lawsuit because
Yes, sir.
you're saying Mr. Lal has done so much for this
So
country
much for this country and the poorer class of people, Mr. Lal.
and you're saying
Come on,
if it
man.
wasn't for Mr. Lal that the PPP wouldn't have been empowered today,
Empowered today,
that
I said so, yes.
that the coalition would have rigged the election
Of
and
course.
they would have stayed in and became a dictatorship. Is that what you're saying?
Man, yes, sir.
And
Of
therefore,
course.
Mr. Ramatar should just let it go. Just drop it. Let it go.
Yes, of course.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it, and I
Okay.
thank you for fighting against the oil giant. And I
Yes,
pray that
I
would
want them to know.
that you would pray.
I want Exxon Mobile to know he's stupid. And just like us, man, the ballot box,
Yes.
because
And-
man, I'll become old parents, them fight for that,
Yes.
them deserve that.
And
Come on, man.
I want you to pray for this listener that he will be able to get Exxon to renegotiate this contract,
course.
so every Guyanese can have a roti on their table.
That's it.
This
That is
contract is
If
unfair.
Uncle Lally want,
This contract,
Uncle Lally want nothing.
yes.
I want for the poor, ordinary people.
Yes.
Come on.
So Mr. Lal goal is not to help the rich and the well-connected and the
No,
famous.
for people
His
like
his
me.
job is to help the poor, the powerless,
Yes,
and the
of
oppressed
course.
and the depressed people in this country. Therefore, thank you, caller. You have a wonderful day, and I pray that you would join me and help pray for the oil company to have a conscience to renegotiate this horrible, unspeakable contract. Thank you, Miss King.
Someone is saying, I'm living in the United Kingdom. I supposed to be a customer of the Republic Bank, having left a very, very good amount of money in my account. Before leaving Guyana, the Visa card that I received from the bank expired. When I called to ask for a new card, I was told that because I'm not making any withdrawals from my account, they have closed my account. Is this true or false?
Well, I can tell you one of those personal experience again. My bank says that if I don't do any transaction for 90 consecutive days, that they will close my account. And I can tell you, to open an account in Guyana, it's more difficult to become the president of Guyana than to open a bank account in Guyana, because there's so many paperwork, not to mention the long lines. Caller, go right ahead. You listen to the Wake Up Guyana show. Go right ahead, please. Caller, go right ahead. Okay, we look like we lost Miss King. Over to you.
Yes, someone is saying, good afternoon, Mr. Tony and Miss King. Some advice for Guyanese coming to Toronto. New arrivals should adjust and assimilate to the Canadian customs, not the other way around. Guyanese culture they keep, but customs they adjust. Customs include good manners, no littering, etc.
And I thank you for that. And also, some people grew up when they eat their food, like me, I like to use my hands when I eat. Somehow the food tastes so much more delicious when I use my hands than use a knife and a fork. So just remember, eating, caller, go right ahead. You listen to the Wake Up Guyana show. Go right ahead.
Mr. Tony from Machinoy.
Yes.
I'm trying about half an hour to get you to your program. Nobody's on it, but still I'm not getting through it. Something is definitely wrong with your phone. But quickly, I'd like to make 2 points.
Go ahead. Go
One,
right ahead.
about Guyana, right?
Yes.
I don't see nothing wrong in Mr. Glenlal saying the truth. The truth is that he gave away the place, that's all. The two things. Now Ramutar and the man sign away the thing. And not put it through no, what you call it? Right or wrong? Me, I go school too far, but I read, that's what I read bass. I'm saying to you, right? These judges that we got in Guyana, I don't know which school them I went. You understand? But what happening when you go to CCJ? The CCJ is saying something different from what the man is saying. I don't know if these judges are they join political party and making political decisions. You follow?
Yes, I'm with you.
Is that's what happened. So I don't understand how the man get the fine 4.2 million. You understand?
Yes.
These judges are political judges or what? I don't know. Tell me, Mr. Tony, what's going on? Glenlal is not saying the wrong thing. The people sign away the thing, and they ain't go through no procedure like what happened in Suriname and all them places.
As far as I listen to Mr. Glenlal, sir, all I'm hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Listen.
And no one is coming to defend or to challenge what he's saying. So as long as no one comes
but how come the man losing the cases? I don't understand. If he ain't got a good lawyer or what's going on, you understand?
Yes.
Or we judges just making decisions after political thing. I don't know if I can criticize a judge. I don't know. This is a freedom of speech place.
Well, they said this is a freedom of speech, but I question whether it's a freedom of speech. I don't know if you heard a chaplain give a freedom of speech at the police conference, and he was immediately terminated. So I don't know if we have freedom of speech. We are told that we do.
Yeah, but from what you see, we gotta look as what I said. We gotta look at it at different angles. Maybe the chaplain did that, but then the chaplain was involved in some. I don't know what it says, Ponzi scheme or whatever, collecting the people money and.
Yeah, but one has nothing to do with the other, though.
Oh, okay.
One has one. We talking about free speech.
Listen, I am just saying what I hear.
Yes.
Me, not the judge or the jury.
Right.
I'm just saying. Maybe that is why.
Yes.
I don't know. As I'm saying, I didn't go to school too far, but what I understand, I can only say what I think is right. Maybe I'm not right too.
Okay. Thank you for calling.
You understand what I'm saying?
Thank you for calling. And we are coming up to the end of the show. We just have a few minutes left. Miss King, do you have anything for us? Okay, Miss King doesn't. So continue to send your Facebook and WhatsApp message to Miss King so she can read it on the air. And I thank that person that gave the feedback for those who might be migrating to Canada. And also reminding you, I need constructive criticism. Please give me your constructive criticism. Caller, go right ahead. Welcome to the Wake Up Guyana show.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Miss King, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Miss King. Go right ahead.
Concerning Mr. Lam.
Yes.
In this country...
can you put the phone closer to your mouth so I can hear you and the rest of the country can hear you?
In this country,
yes.
Here, you can't stand up for justice. When you stand up for justice, you get victimized. What Mr. Lal did, all he did was highlight what's going on in this country here, right? These people who run in this country here, they're a pack of jokers. Look, Suriname with the oil. Suriname is doing their thing good. ExxonMobil can't go there and do no nonsense what they're doing in Guyana here.
Yes.
Concerning Mr. Granger, the same APNU AFC was a dictator. Now you tell me, if APNU AFC was dictators, you think PPP could have been in this government here like today? Mr. Granger, President David Granger, exercised democracy in this country here. So much democracy that people don't understand the real meaning of the word democracy. And they trample on it, and they do their own thing. They jump and they say all manner of things. And President Granger prosecute none of them, not one of them. I want these people to show in what way, in what area President Granger was a dictatorship. You see, when you're doing good in this place, you don't be recognized. You got to be lawless and blackguarding, and then people say, oh, pat you on your shoulder and say, oh, you're a good boy, you're doing well. And that is my country.
Let me ask you a question, caller. You there?
Mm-hmm.
Could you tell me why is it that Suriname was able to get a much better contract than we here in Guyana? Are they smarter than us?
No, they learned.
Okay.
They listen and they learn what's going on.
So why didn't we learn? Why didn't we learn?
Because you know why? This government here just concerned about themselves. They don't care what happened to we, the ordinary citizens.
So what you're saying, caller, is that they treat us like lappy dogs?
Man, it is clear to see it's black and white. They don't
Yes.
care. They don't even care about the supporters who put them there as a claim. They are illegally inside there. They steal our election.
Okay, caller.
And they're trying to brainwash people now.
Thank you for calling and thank you for listening. And we are getting closer to the top of the hour, reminding you, Miss King, go right ahead, please.
Someone is saying here in WhatsApp, Tony, the judge's decision against Mr. Lal is clear. The court is in concern with others to keep Mr. Lal quiet, just like the Saudis did to Al Jazeera, but it backfired. Mr. Lal will prevail.
Thank you for that wonderful comment. And it's just for you that don't know, Al Jazeera is a TV network similar to Kaieteur, and they are in the Middle East, and they were very, very independent-minded like Mr. Lal, and so they were telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and so they tried to shut them down and shut them up and silence them. But do you know what? Truth crushed the earth will rise again. And so said, so done. Al Jazeera has risen again. And I say to you, I'm putting it to you, that if this government or any government tries to shut down Kaieteur radio, the truth will rise again. Just like Al Jazeera rose again, Kaieteur News would rise again, because people wants to hear the truth. The good thing that Guyana has that the rest of the world that doesn't have is that we have a copy of this oil contract for everyone to see. I encourage every citizen, I encourage you to read this oil contract. And for your information, from time to time, I will be bringing this oil contract and I will be reading excerpt from it to educate you, to see how unconscionable, how unspeakable wrong this oil contract is. And then I would let you decide whether this is a fair or unfair contract. Ms. King.
So we have 3 no comments. Hi, good afternoon. The 50,000 jobs, no one has been hired yet. It's a shame politicians take Guyanese for a ride, lies and more lies. The next person says, good afternoon, Mr. Tony and Miss King. The Herstelling Farm NDC not doing anything about the vendors at the entrance to the scheme. And finally, someone says, for the caller who said that the bank closed her account, I think The account became dormant since there were no transactions for a long period. All she has to do is sign back some paperwork and reactivate her account.
And what that person is saying, it makes it sound so simple, but I will put it to you. There's very few things as simple as you just mentioned in Guyana. Just a few paperwork, you know. I told you, but my mother-in-law was told by the bank, just bring a few paperwork and then she'll be able to withdraw her deceased husband money. And she brought a few paperwork to the bank, and the bank said, just bring a few more paperwork. And she brought a few more paperwork to the bank, and the bank said, bring a few more paperwork to the bank. And before you know it, she had a whole book of paperwork, and the bank was still asking for more. So it's very complicated to deal with the banks. It's not easy. It's not easy. In fact, I every 90 days have to go and do a transaction in the bank just to keep my bank active. To me, 3 months is ridiculous. There's no way in the world you should shut down a person account or make it go dormant in 90 days. Come on, people, this is the 21st century. Make it 180 days or 364 days before it goes dormant. But 90 days? Give me a break, bank. They make life difficult for people. People already have a difficult life. And then the bank makes it even more difficult by demanding and asking for foolish things like 90 days and your account goes dormant. That's so obtuse. Caller, go right ahead. This was my last call. Wake Up Guyana. Welcome to the Wake Up Guyana show. Please be brief. We're on.
Yes. Okay, good afternoon. I'll be brief.
Yes.
I would like to ask that person, that woman that speaks just now, and you, Mr. Tony, in this contract that's signed, if it's signed in the government, if the PPP government that signed the contract concerning our business. Secondly, I opened an account at a bank the other day, and I didn't have to do much paperwork to open up. Thank you very much.
Well, sir, I am very happy that you didn't have to do a lot of paperwork. I would like to know what bank. I wish you were still on there so you can tell me the name of the bank, because I would definitely go to and move my account to that bank, because you have a better bank than I do, because mine is not that simple. Mine is extremely complicated. All right, so we're at the end of the show. Again, I thank you for listening, for spending this time with me. I want you to know that I'm very grateful. I don't take it for granted that you spend this time with me on a daily basis. And for that, I am forever grateful. Thank you. Reminding you that we're going through some dark days, some dark nights. We're going through a COVID pandemic and an unemployment crisis and a crime epidemic. So we are being hit on all corners. COVID pandemic, a unemployment crisis, people are losing their job, and a crime epidemic. So please, pray for Guyana. Please, pray for our president, that he would lead this country in a righteous way. Pray for our leaders, the politicians, the oppositions, and all those who are in authority over us. Pray for them. Pray for our fellow Guyanese that we will not be so callous, so indifferent, so unsympathetic and uncompassionate to each other. And I pray for a renegotiation of the oil contract so that every poor peasant person in this country can have a roti on their table. This is the Wake Up Guyana show that comes to you Monday through Friday from 1400 hours. We are asking you to continue to listen to us and to join us tomorrow at the same time. This is Tony from Machinoy saying goodbye and God bless you, and may God give you the desires of your heart. Thank you.
Public advisory. Major planned maintenance for Friday, March 19th, 2021 on the west coast Demerara from Edinburgh to La Jollity from 8 hours to 12 hours.